Today, Toyota sells more than 11 million vehicles every year. The Corolla is the best-selling car in history. Its factories are studied by companies around the world. From the outside, Toyota looks almost impossible to beat. But here's the part most people never hear. There were three moments when Toyota could have disappeared forever. One nearly bankrupted the company. One made America reject Toyota completely. And one destroyed the reputation it had spent decades building. Most companies wouldn't survive even one of those. Toyota survived all three, and every crisis changed the company forever. This is how Toyota became the biggest car company on Earth. Toyota wasn't born in a garage, it wasn't founded by racing enthusiasts, and it didn't even start in the automobile business. It started with weaving machines. In the early 1900s, inventor Sakichi Toyoda built automatic looms that transformed Japan's textile industry. When the patent rights were later sold, the money gave his son, Kichiro Toyoda, the opportunity to chase a much bigger dream: building automobiles. At the time, Japan barely had a car industry. American and European manufacturers dominated the market, and many believed Japanese companies simply couldn't compete. Kichiro thought otherwise. In 1936, Toyota introduced its first passenger car. Even the company's name was changed from Toyota to Toyota because it was easier to pronounce internationally and considered more fortunate in Japanese writing. Everything finally seemed to be moving in the right direction. Then the world went to war. During World War II, Toyota stopped building cars for families and began producing trucks for the Japanese military. By the end of the war, the country was devastated. The economy collapsed. Customers disappeared. Money dried up. Banks refused to extend more credit. Workers went on strike. Factory lines slowed almost to a stop. By 1950, Toyota wasn't fighting competitors, it was fighting for survival. Kichiro Toyoda accepted responsibility for the company's financial crisis and stepped down. For the man who had spent his life trying to build Japan's auto industry, it was heartbreaking. It looked like Toyota's story was over. Then something happened that no one could have predicted. The Korean War began. The U.S. military suddenly needed thousands of trucks. Toyota secured a major contract. Almost overnight, the same factories that had been sitting idle were running around the clock. That one opportunity didn't just save Toyota, it bought the company another chance. The question was, would Toyota use it wisely? Toyota had survived. Now it wanted something even bigger: America. In 1958, Toyota entered the U.S. market with a car called the Toyopet Crown. It was supposed to introduce Americans to Japanese engineering. Instead, it became a lesson in what not to do. The car struggled at highway speeds, its engine felt underpowered, and even the name Toyopet failed to connect with American buyers. Sales were disappointing. Toyota eventually pulled the model from the U.S. market. For many companies, that kind of failure would have ended any expansion plans. Toyota reacted differently. Instead of blaming customers, it studied them. Engineers spent years learning how Americans drove, what they expected from a family car, and why the Crown had failed. Those lessons led to better vehicles: the Corona, the Corolla, the Camry, the Prius, and eventually Lexus. Decades later, the company that America once rejected achieved the impossible. In 2021, Toyota outsold General Motors in the United States. By the late 2000s, Toyota had become one of the most respected manufacturers in the world. Then came another crisis. In 2009, reports of unintended acceleration triggered a global controversy. Millions of vehicles were recalled. Television networks covered the story for months. Lawmakers demanded answers. Customers questioned the one thing Toyota had always been known for: reliability. Between 2009 and 2011, Toyota recalled more than 9 million vehicles worldwide. The company paid billions in fines and settlements. As if that wasn't enough, another industry-wide crisis followed. Faulty Takata airbags forced one of the largest safety recalls in automotive history, affecting Toyota along with many other manufacturers. For a company built on trust, this should have been the beginning of the end. Instead of hiding from the crisis, Toyota invested heavily in improving quality control, strengthening safety procedures, and rebuilding customer confidence. Slowly, the trust returned. Why Toyota kept winning. Most companies think success comes from avoiding mistakes. Toyota proved the opposite. Its greatest strength wasn't building perfect cars. It was learning from imperfect moments faster than everyone else. The financial collapse taught Toyota discipline. Failure in America taught it to listen to customers. The recall crisis reinforced that trust has to be earned every single day. Those lessons became part of the Toyota production system, one of the most studied manufacturing systems ever created. Today, companies from every industry try to copy it. Toyota didn't become number one because everything went according to plan. It became number one because every setback became a blueprint for something better. And maybe that's the biggest lesson in Toyota's story. Success isn't built by never falling. It's built by refusing to stay down. If you enjoy stories about the companies that shaped the world and the moments that nearly destroyed them, subscribe because there are plenty more incredible stories to tell.